When we talk about astrology, most people immediately think of their sun sign. But if you've ever wondered why you're drawn to certain people, what makes you feel loved, or how you express affection, that's where Venus comes in. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, pleasure, and attraction. It's the key to understanding your desires, your love language, and even the type of energy you naturally attract into your life. Your Venus sign reveals the way you approach relationships, the qualities that make you feel cherished, and the subtle magnetic field you carry when it comes to romance and connection. While the sun describes your core self, Venus tells the story of your heart. It shows us what we value, how we flirt, what makes us feel desired, and the patterns we fall into in matters of love. In this video, we're taking a deep dive through Venus in all 12 zodiac signs. We'll explore how Venus expresses herself in each sign, the light, the shadows, and the unspoken desires that shape our relationships. From the fiery passion of Venus in Aries to the soulful depth of Venus in Pisces, each placement carries its own beauty and complexity. As you listen, think beyond just your sun sign. Check your chart to see where Venus was when you were born and follow along as we uncover how that placement influences the way you love, the kind of love you seek, and the type of person who may feel like destiny in your life. Aries Venus. Venus in Aries burns bright and fast. When it comes to love, this placement is bold, direct, and passionate. They don't sit around waiting for someone to make the first move. Instead, they thrive on the thrill of the chase and the spark of something new. Their attraction style is fiery, impulsive, and full of excitement. When they like someone, you'll know it. They crave relationships that feel alive, full of energy and spontaneity, where sparks never fade. For them, love is an adventure, and they want a partner who can keep up with their pace and enthusiasm. The challenge for Venus and Aries lies in their intensity and impatience. They can sometimes confuse infatuation with love, diving headfirst into relationships only to lose interest once the initial fire cools down. This placement can struggle with sustaining long-term commitment because they fear routine or boredom. They want passion at all times, and if they don't find it, they may chase after something new. Their love style can feel selfish or impulsive to others, since they often prioritize their own desires without realizing how it affects their partner. But when Venus in Aries matures, they learn that true passion doesn't have to fade, it evolves. Their lesson is to channel their fiery energy into building a connection that stays exciting while deepening over time. They bring vitality, courage, and honesty into relationships, teaching others the beauty of living and loving fearlessly. When balanced, Venus in Aries becomes an unstoppable force of love, someone who ignites passion in others while also learning to nurture the flame so it lasts. Taurus Venus. Venus feels right at home in Taurus, one of the signs it rules. This placement craves stability, beauty, and sensuality in love. People with Venus in Taurus are drawn to relationships that feel secure and grounded, where trust and consistency are at the center. They value the simple pleasures of love, touch, comfort, shared meals, and quality time together. Their attraction style leans toward the natural and enduring. They don't rush into love, but once they give their heart, it's with deep loyalty and commitment. For them, romance is about building something lasting with a strong foundation that can weather any storm. The challenge for Venus in Taurus is their resistance to change and their strong attachment to what feels comfortable. They can become overly possessive or cling to relationships even when they've run their course. At times, they may equate love with material comfort, becoming too focused on security rather than emotional growth. Their slow, cautious approach can also frustrate more spontaneous partners as they prefer to move at their own steady pace. While their love is dependable, it can risk becoming stagnant if they don't actively nurture passion and growth. When Venus in Taurus embraces balance, they become the embodiment of enduring love. They teach others the beauty of slowing down, savoring the moment, and finding magic in consistency. Their gift is creating an environment where love feels safe, stable, and timeless, but also alive with warmth and sensuality. At their best, they remind us that true love isn't found in constant excitement, but in the everyday devotion that makes a relationship grow stronger with time. Gemini Venus. With Venus in Gemini, love is playful, curious, and endlessly fascinated by the dance of conversation. These individuals are attracted to quick wit, humor, and someone who can stimulate their mind as much as their heart. For them, relationships are about variety and connection on multiple levels. They want a partner who feels like both a lover and a best friend. Flirting is second nature to Gemini Venus, and they thrive in relationships that keep things light, fresh, and ever changing. Mental chemistry is often more important than physical attraction, and they value partners who can engage in clever banter and keep up with their restless energy. The challenge for Venus in Gemini lies in their tendency to get distracted or bored if a relationship starts to feel routine. Their craving for novelty can sometimes make them seem inconsistent or noncommittal, as they're always curious about what else is out there. This placement can fall into the trap of chasing stimulation rather than depth, leaving them with many surface level connections, but few lasting bonds. They may also struggle with indecision in love, feeling torn between different options or personas they embody in relationships. For a Gemini Venus, learning to balance their need for freedom with the responsibilities of true intimacy is essential. At their best, Venus in Gemini brings lightness and adaptability to love, reminding us that romance doesn't always have to be heavy or overly serious. Their charm lies in their ability to keep relationships alive with curiosity, laughter, and a sense of play. When they find a partner who can match their mental energy while also grounding them, they transform into deeply loyal companions who keep love vibrant and dynamic. Cancer Venus. With Venus in Cancer, love is tender, nurturing, and deeply emotional. These individuals seek relationships that feel safe, comforting, and almost like a second home. They're naturally intuitive in love, often sensing their partner's moods and unspoken needs. For them, affection is about creating emotional closeness and building a bond that feels unbreakable. They're drawn to partners who make them feel secure and cherished. And in return, they offer warmth, loyalty, and a protective kind of love. For Cancer Venus, romance is not just about passion, it's about family, belonging, and emotional sanctuary. However, the vulnerability of Venus in Cancer can also become their greatest challenge because they feel so deeply they can be easily hurt or retreat into their protective shell when love feels uncertain. Their sensitivity can sometimes lead to moodiness, clinginess, or even a fear of abandonment. They may hold on to the past, even old relationships, because their emotional bonds run so deep. For a Cancer Venus, the key to healthy love is learning how to balance their need for security without becoming overly dependent on their partner for emotional reassurance. At their best, Venus in Cancer shows us the beauty of unconditional love. They have a gift for creating warmth, intimacy, and an environment where their partner feels truly cared for. Their devotion can be incredibly healing, and they often bring a sense of softness and safety into relationships. When they learn to trust without fear and give without expecting constant validation, they embody the kind of love that feels timeless, the kind that weathers storms and grows stronger with time. Leo Venus. When Venus is in Leo, love is bold, expressive, and impossible to ignore. These individuals thrive on passion, romance, and the grand gestures that make love feel larger than life. They're drawn to relationships that sparkle with excitement and joy, where affection is openly celebrated rather than kept quiet. A Leo Venus wants to be adored, admired, and appreciated, but they're also just as eager to give warmth, loyalty, and generosity in return. For them, love should feel like an adventure, a stage where both partners shine brightly and bring out the best in each other. At times, their craving for attention and admiration can lead to challenges. A Leo Venus might struggle with pride, jealousy, or fear of not being valued enough. They can sometimes expect their partner to provide constant validation, and if they don't feel adored, they may pull away dramatically or become restless. Their love language often comes through affection, playfulness, and physical connection, but also through recognition. They want their partner to see them as irreplaceable. The lesson for a Leo Venus is learning that true love isn't always about the spotlight, but about vulnerability and shared authenticity. At their highest expression, Venus in Leo embodies radiant love that uplifts and inspires. Their joy is infectious, and their loyalty runs deep once they've found someone who honors their heart. They teach others the beauty of celebrating love, not being afraid to say, I adore you loudly and proudly. With their warmth, devotion, and enthusiasm, Leo Venus reminds us that romance should be celebrated, not hidden, and that love at its best can be both playful and profoundly heartfelt. Virgo Venus. When Venus is in Virgo, love takes on a quieter, more thoughtful expression. These individuals show affection not through grand displays, but through acts of service, attentiveness, and genuine care for their partner's well being. A Virgo Venus notices the small details, the subtle moods, the unspoken needs, and expresses love by offering practical support and gentle presence. They value honesty, reliability, and consistency, and they're drawn to relationships where mutual growth and refinement are possible. For them, love is about building something steady, thoughtful, and enduring rather than chasing fleeting passion. Challenges for Venus in Virgo often arise from their perfectionist streak. They can be highly self critical and sometimes extend that same scrutiny to their partners, wanting everything in the relationship to feel just right. This tendency can make them cautious about opening up or overly focused on what's lacking instead of what's thriving. They may hold back emotionally until they feel safe, and their understated style of affection may be misread as disinterest when in truth their love runs deep and steady beneath the surface. Learning to balance their discerning eye with compassion, both for themselves and others, is key to their relationship fulfillment. At their best, Venus in Virgo embodies a love that is pure, humble, and deeply supportive. They remind us that devotion doesn't always come with fireworks, but can be expressed through consistency, loyalty, and the quiet assurance of, I'm here for you. Their love refines, heals, and brings clarity. By weaving together tenderness with practicality, Virgo Venus teaches that the strongest relationships are often built not on drama, but on trust, effort, and the quiet magic of everyday care. Libra Venus. With Venus in Libra, love is experienced as a dance of harmony, connection, and beauty. Venus is at home here, since Libra is one of the signs it rules, making its energy especially strong and natural. These individuals are deeply oriented toward partnership, often feeling most alive when they are sharing life with another. They seek balance in relationships and are highly attuned to fairness, reciprocity, and the subtle dynamics of give and take. A Libra Venus thrives on intellectual and emotional companionship, valuing dialogue, shared interests, and a sense of elegance in their love life. Romance is often idealized with a desire for relationships that feel graceful, cooperative, and aesthetically pleasing. The challenge for Venus in Libra lies in their strong desire for harmony, which can sometimes lead to people pleasing or difficulty making firm decisions in love. They may avoid conflict to maintain peace, even at the expense of their own needs or authenticity. At times, they can become overly focused on appearances, how the relationship looks to others, rather than how it truly feels within. This indecision or overemphasis on keeping things balanced can make it hard for them to fully commit or risk disrupting the status quo. At their highest expression, Venus in Libra radiates charm, diplomacy, and a genuine appreciation for love's artistry. Being in its own sign gives them a natural ease when it comes to romance, style, and connection. They remind others that relationships can be both beautiful and just, where each person's voice and presence is valued equally. With their innate grace, they bring an air of refinement to love, showing that true partnership is about more than passion. It's about creating a shared life that feels harmonious, elegant, and filled with mutual respect. Scorpio Venus. When Venus is in Scorpio, love is intense, magnetic, and transformative. These individuals experience relationships on a profound emotional level, craving depth and authenticity above all else. They are drawn to connection that feels all encompassing, passionate, and sometimes even consuming. Surface level interactions leave them unsatisfied. They want to explore the hidden layers of their partner's heart and psyche, and in return, they reveal their own raw, vulnerable selves. For Scorpio Venus, love is a journey of transformation, where intimacy is both powerful and revealing. The challenge for Venus and Scorpio is their tendency toward possessiveness, jealousy, or emotional intensity that can overwhelm both themselves and their partner. They may struggle with trust, fearing betrayal or abandonment, and their love can sometimes become all or nothing. Scorpio Venus can also have a magnetic pull that attracts complex or troubled partners as they are drawn to experiences that mirror their own emotional depth. Learning to navigate intensity without losing balance is a central lesson for this placement. At their best, Venus in Scorpio embodies profound loyalty, emotional insight, and transformative love. Their relationships are rarely casual and they leave a lasting mark on everyone they deeply care for. Scorpio Venus teaches that true intimacy requires courage, vulnerability, and the willingness to dive into the depths of both love and the human soul. When balanced, they offer a love that is fiercely protective, deeply connected, and utterly unforgettable. Sagittarius Venus. With Venus and Sagittarius, love is adventurous, playful, and freedom oriented. These individuals are drawn to relationships that expand their horizons, whether through travel, philosophical conversation, or new experiences. They value honesty, optimism, and a sense of adventure in their partnerships. For Sagittarius Venus, love is best when it feels exciting and open ended. They crave a partner who can match their enthusiasm for life and share in their explorations of both the world and the mind. Romance for them is intertwined with curiosity and the thrill of discovery. The challenge for Venus and Sagittarius lies in their restlessness and desire for independence. They may struggle with commitment if a relationship feels restrictive or routine, and they can sometimes prioritize adventure over emotional intimacy. Sagittarius Venus may also be blunt in love, speaking the truth without considering how it lands, which can unintentionally hurt partners. Their lesson is to balance their need for freedom with the responsibilities and emotional depth that long term relationships require. At their highest expression, Venus in Sagittarius embodies a love that is inspiring, uplifting, and liberating. They bring joy, laughter, and a sense of possibility to their relationships, encouraging partners to explore new perspectives and experiences. Sagittarius Venus teaches that love can be both freeing and deeply connected, showing that true romance thrives when there's room to grow together while still honoring individual journeys. Capricorn Venus. With Venus in Capricorn, love is serious, steady, and grounded. These individuals approach relationships with thoughtfulness and a sense of responsibility, valuing loyalty, stability, and long term commitment above fleeting passion. They are drawn to partners who are reliable, ambitious, and capable of building a secure life together. For Capricorn Venus, love is not just about emotions, it's about shared goals, trust, and creating a partnership that can endure life's challenges. Romance is expressed through consistent actions, support, and tangible gestures that demonstrate care and devotion over time. The challenge for Venus in Capricorn is their tendency toward caution and emotional reserve. They can appear distant or overly controlled in love, fearing vulnerability or rejection. Capricorn Venus may prioritize practicality over emotional expression, sometimes missing the spontaneous, lighter aspects of romance. They also have high standards for themselves and their partners, which can create pressure or unrealistic expectations in relationships. Learning to balance ambition and structure with warmth and playfulness is key for their growth in love. At their best, Venus in Capricorn embodies a love that is enduring, dependable, and deeply rewarding. Their commitment, discipline, and reliability create a sense of security that allows intimacy to flourish. Capricorn Venus teaches that true love is built with patience, dedication, and consistent care, showing that the strongest relationships are those that withstand time and life's inevitable ups and downs. Aquarius Venus. With Venus in Aquarius, love is unconventional, intellectual, and freedom loving. These individuals are attracted to unique, open minded partners who challenge the status quo and embrace individuality. For them, romance is as much about mental connection and shared ideals as it is about emotional intimacy. Aquarius Venus thrives in relationships that allow personal freedom and encourage personal growth, and they often find themselves drawn to friendships that evolve into something more. Love for them is a collaboration of equals, built on respect, curiosity, and shared visions for the future. The challenge for Venus in Aquarius lies in their need for independence and detachment. They can appear aloof or emotionally distant, prioritizing freedom and rationality over deep emotional vulnerability. Aquarius Venus may resist traditional relationship structures or commitment if it feels limiting, and they can sometimes over intellectualize matters of the heart. Their lesson is to learn how to balance their desire for individuality with the intimacy and emotional availability required for lasting connection. At their best, Venus in Aquarius embodies a love that is forward thinking, inclusive, and liberating. They inspire their partners to embrace their uniqueness while fostering equality and understanding in the relationship. Aquarius Venus teaches that true love respects autonomy, values intellectual and emotional partnership, and thrives when both people are free to evolve together while remaining deeply connected. Pisces Venus. With Venus in Pisces, love is dreamy, compassionate, and deeply intuitive. These individuals experience romance as a spiritual and emotional journey, often seeking soul deep connections that transcend the ordinary. They are naturally empathetic, able to sense their partner's emotions, and often express love through kindness, understanding, and imaginative gestures. Pisces Venus is drawn to relationships that feel magical, romantic, and emotionally fulfilling, where they can connect on both heart and soul levels. The challenge for Venus in Pisces lies in their idealism and tendency to blur boundaries. They may fall for partners who aren't fully available or overlook red flags in pursuit of a perfect emotional connection. Pisces Venus can be overly selfless at times, sacrificing their own needs to care for others, which can lead to disappointment or heartache. Learning to balance compassion with discernment and self respect is key to cultivating healthy, sustainable relationships. At their highest expression, Venus in Pisces embodies unconditional love, creativity, and emotional depth. They teach that love can be transformative and healing, opening hearts to empathy, understanding, and spiritual connection. When balanced, Pisces Venus brings tenderness, inspiration, and devotion into relationships, showing that love is not just an emotion, but a profound, life enriching experience. Closing, understanding the heart of Venus. As we've explored through all 12 Venus signs, it's clear that Venus is far more than just a planet of love. It is the lens through which we experience desire, attraction, and connection. Your Venus sign shapes not only how you give and receive love, but also the qualities you are naturally drawn to in others. It is a key to understanding your romantic patterns, your values in relationships, and even the way you express beauty, pleasure, and creativity in life. For example, someone with Venus in Aries may feel most alive in passionate, fast moving relationships, craving intensity and excitement. Meanwhile, Venus in Taurus shows us the importance of stability, sensuality, and loyalty, teaching us that love often thrives in consistency and patience. By looking at these placements, we can gain clarity about why we are attracted to certain people and why some relationships feel effortless while others feel challenging. Venus also affects how we navigate conflict and connection. A Gemini Venus might approach disagreements intellectually, seeking understanding through conversation, while a Cancer Venus may respond with deep emotional sensitivity, craving reassurance and security. Recognizing these differences allows us to navigate relationships with empathy, understanding, and awareness of both our needs and our partners. For those with Venus in Leo, love is about admiration, generosity, and dramatic expressions of affection. On the other hand, Virgo Venus teaches us that love can be quiet, practical, and expressed through small, meaningful acts of care. By understanding these tendencies, we learn to honor our own ways of loving as well as appreciate the diversity in how others express their hearts. Even the more complex placements, like Scorpio Venus, demonstrate the power of intensity and transformation in love, while Sagittarius Venus reminds us that freedom, curiosity, and exploration are essential ingredients for a thriving connection. And let's not forget Capricorn Aquarius and Pisces Venus, each showing us the spectrum of love, from disciplined commitment to intellectual partnership to boundless empathy and spiritual connection. Understanding your Venus sign doesn't just illuminate romance, it shines a light on friendships, family dynamics, and even creative collaborations. It helps us understand why certain environments, hobbies, or artistic pursuits feel magnetic, and why some partnerships naturally resonate on a soul deep level. Venus is, in many ways, the guide to what brings joy, fulfillment, and meaning into our lives. So, whether you are a beginner in astrology or have been studying your chart for years, taking the time to explore your Venus sign can transform the way you see love, both for yourself and others. If this deep dive resonated with you, share it with your friends, check your Venus placement, and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating world of astrology. Remember, understanding Venus is understanding the heart, and the more we understand the heart, the more fully we can experience love in all its forms. Take a moment to reflect on how your Venus sign shows up in your daily life, in the way you interact, express affection, and pursue joy. Notice the patterns in your relationships and how they mirror the lessons of your Venus placement. The more awareness we cultivate, the more empowered we become to attract love that truly aligns with who we are.